Starto Streamo. Finally went green. Yeah, so we're in pre-production right now, guys, and you guys are a little impatient. So I said, we should just hit the go live button. And behind the scenes, now you get to look at this cool Reddit screen that I have.
Hey,
Nice.
I should. You think I should box? It's as I failed on the.
That's a deep dive you got to have about your little MPC live situation.
Yeah, man. Oh. Oh God, this is awful. Yeah, sorry guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to main spice right now. What's up, everybody? It's CMP with CraftMaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Do not forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials, pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day, and it is the only way to get the MIDI files for all of my brand new YouTube tutorials, increasing the value to your viewership on all platforms. MGtheFuture, tell them what you're about.
Hey, SimGtheFuture, you know what I'm about, but I lost my microphone levels. Hold on.
Oh, a tisket, a casket. I lost my Easter.
Mm.
Got it.
How about now?
Last.
How about now? Is my voice back? Yes, it's back.
Hey,
SimGtheFuture, you know what I'm about. Shout out to everybody who's joining in the room. What's going on in my life? Lo-Fi Da Vinci is almost under wraps. I look forward and I'm eager to finish that. And then this week's been pretty cool, man. A lot of spice, a lot of herbs, a lot of everything. So what's good with you, man?
lots of spice, lots of variants going on. This week was a good week. I sold some gear, man. I sold
Oh,
some gear. Joe for show got the Studio 192 going to him. The Studio 192 mobile. I'm sending that out on Monday from my girl's job at FedEx because I gave him a good deal on it, and FedEx whoops you in the head for putting stuff in a box and putting some packing around it. So that's what's up. But in bigger news, I sold my MPC live. It's gone. MPC
ooh.
gone. Ice back.
You weren't pump faking on that. What was your determining factor for those who that's going to be the question? Is it worth? So was it why was it worth? Why did you want to get rid of it?
Okay, well it's definitely something that is that a Bojangles cup? My man's, you got to relax.
Nah, it's a drink though. It's a
It's a drink. It's a
with
drink.
no ice
Oh, okay, okay, I got you.
because
But
the ice be adding calories. So I don't need that.
Doc, I'm trying to get my JW Lucas physique, bro. We're supposed to be on it, man.
I forgot, man. Doesn't he have like a health and wellness page?
He does, bro. The boy is
I think.
swole, man. But no, when it comes to the NPC live, my d- my deal with it was um duplication. You know what I mean? Like duplication in the gear. So as I've been going through, like, trying to work on my hybrid setup, right? So this is what this always been about. If you go back to 2010, when we really started, like, it was like, okay, I'm 100% VST,
Yeah,
and then you kind of have one foot in and one foot out. Like, I always had like a Phantom, or I would always get like a little poly synth. Like, I would always have some piece of hardware, trying to get the feeling back of recording an analog signal into the digital world to provide some type of 3D space. And
yeah,
sometimes it was cheap shitty gear, sometimes it was really good stuff. And the MPC was dope, for the fact that it was an MPC. It brought that workflow back into it. It had the swing and everything. It added a when you drove the outputs, it added something to the actual drums. It was good, it was good for drum creation, for making kits and stuff like that. The drums just hit different coming out of the outputs. But getting the handsome audio Zulu got me towards the sound that I always wanted to get anyway, and that was tape. When I first started in music, my first introduction into working into a legit studio environment was this artist from VP Records, which that's like the main record label in Jamaica, with all the big reggae artists, some dance hall artists, and we had somebody in our group who had Jamaican musicians in his family, and they were able to plug us in with somebody who would take us to the studio, pay for the session, and we were recording on tape, like on the 2-inch reels, like buddy, like punching us in and like literally hitting the button, and it was crazy. It was a fun time. But the way that that sounded compared to our digital 4 track, and then this was in the M box era still. So compared to the stuff that we were doing on the M box and other people's home studios, like there was nothing like that. So I forever have that record, and that's kind of the sound I was going after. So having the Zulu and then being able to break down pipeline and getting the claret interface and now being able to have everything permanent to where I don't have to go and reroute a bunch of stuff. Everything just kind of sits on my rack. I have an understanding of my signal flow. There's really I just didn't use it. I just
Yes.
I didn't use it. Now, could there have been situations where I would use it? Like, sure, bro. Like if it had a decent, real time stretch, that would make it that would have increased the fun factor. Um, but I found myself for my particular workflow just doing drums inside the MPC and then having to shoot it back, to the DAW, and it was just too much redundancy. So as I've been collecting gear, um, I got
You
the
also got the DBX too,
yeah, 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 yeah.
which solves a big issue when you compress drums. It's a different world.
Yeah, absolutely. The DBX is nice, bro. DBX is fun, and the DBX, I could definitely see why someone like Langston is like, yo, start on that, and if you could get that down, then it'll make more sense to spend more money on something a little bit more exotic, because this thing has it's not easy, bro. Like it's a very loud compressor, which is why they have like a gate and expander on it. So when you use it, like it's not just some shit where you pick a preset and then you kind of tweak it a little bit and then it sounds cool and then it goes. Like you have to be on it. If you're not paying attention and you don't set the gate correctly, and you don't get your attack and your release times right, you're gonna make something that doesn't sound all that special and interesting. So that's definitely been cool. But the good thing about the DBX, and I think every piece of hardware compressor, no matter what the price range has been, is when you turn a knob, it does something, right?
Yes.
And that is really the way to learn. And I think that's when people go from hardware to software. That like that's their main complaint, is you have to do so much to it to get it to even add character. So having those pieces was awesome. And then I got the Prophet. I have a fucking virus I haven't even turned on yet. So it's like everything is taking up a lot of space, and I wanted to just reposition everything so that everything is tactile, because one of the things is when you start buying gear and you get more stuff that then will fit on your desk, you
Yes.
you will find yourself not using the shit that you bought. And that's
I ran into that problem because one of my pedals are mono,
ugh.
because it throws off the feng shui of having a pass through.
Mhm.
Like, all right, this is SP stereo out, Strymon stereo out, Strymon mono. What? What? Why are you mono? Like, no, it's not really mono. It's TRS stereo. It's like, no, 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 no. You got to open it up and make it TRS stereo. You guys be smoking mids or something. But yeah, I'm the same way. Like, if I can't fit it on my desk, I won't reach for it. And I have that bookshelf back there. It's like my Evolver is over there, the Baby Prophet,
Yeah.
and a few other things. Even my Kai Fires. Like, if I can't put them in front of me because the NPC is taking up the space for the Kai Fires, I'm like, I'm probably not going to use it. It's a very strange thing. Like, But you know what? The downside to it is you don't know that until you have it in your hands. Like
Yes.
it's because it's not piracy, because it's not a Reddit download of a drum kit. You actually have to like invest in yourself and then invest in the resale market by cutting the price by 100 or
Yeah.
$200. So, but for me, for the MPC Live, I was serious. Like I'm waiting for their next update still. And then I went to a performance yesterday where all the kids were using their laptops. I saw a dude doing lo-fi and future bass on Fruity Loops. It kind of pissed me off, but
Why?
because my Fruity Loops didn't sound like that. But anyway, uh, I saw how they were working, and I was like, well, instead of bringing a laptop, I could just bring the MPC Live. So if I get into that community and I start performing or playing my tracks there, I might keep it as my laptop in a weird or roundabout way.
That would make sense. Something like that would make. I it's just, bro. I just wanted to sell it while it still have value, because if they,
Yep.
you know, if they wind up discontinuing something like that, and I had to pay the 11 for it and not so, you know, your standard conversion back, I would I would be sad. But real quick, shout outs. What up, Trey 8, Mr. Perfect, Isan, the guy, Marty Muerte, Awkwards, Hit Play Beats, 80 Wheels is in here, Modern DNA is in here, R. Williams is in, Dayon is in, Lohim is in here, Lil Saf is in,
Yeah.
Awkward is
I,
in here, BK Bang is, Fossil Raw is in here, Six Souls is in, 36 Souls. I ain't seen you before, bro. I appreciate you participating in the chat, bro. And brother Uo is in.
I
You
got a
got
few on my
who you got
side
on your
too.
side?
We got the brother from Canada, Dope Snares in the building. Butter Love Beats is in the building. Water Tiger, I see you. KNLV, hey, Lil Saf, he's on both sides. He's on both streams. He's like Kevin Gates. He got two phones, one for the plug, one for the low. And then we got Slinger Dan, I see you, bro. And Mach is in the building. We got Stream Element, shout out to them. I think that's a robot, but we'll talk about robots later. We got
Ooh.
JKAVAK. I didn't want to butcher your name, so I spelled it out. Appreciate you, bro. Day After, Jabreen, Will's in the building. I see you. Drizzle's in the building. A Calando's in the building. DJ Brother G Drizzle. Andrew Thebe. Hey, Spicy Sundays cover is looking great. I think I sound like CMP when I did that. Ayo Calando. Dream Katari. Conundrums is in the building. Pat Hitters is in the building. Lo-Fi Bartron is in the building. Hey, OG Kush of the God G. I see you. Illinois. King Guz. Almighty. And I want to say um and Antitrust is in here, and I think Shane's in here too. I think I saw him join in.
Still got people joining. Good, bro. So the first topic of today is is the new you know, this is a trend channel. We're futurists. We're analyzing and deep diving. And today we have a very shallow dive into, bro. How many fucking how how many how
All
many
that to say.
Hold up, wait, 36 Souls real quick. It took me 2 days to get my Zulu. It took me two. As long as they're in stock, they'll be back fast. M. Dot Super is retracting messages. I don't know why. Um, Schmidic, Schmidic is in the building. But nah, guys, I want to talk to you guys. Are you guys how many how low on volume? I feel I feel like we've got amazing volume.
Cherry Rumble, hey.
Yeah. What's it called? Elohim, what do you mean is all this hashtag future proof? Type more words and I'll answer that question. But real quick, I want to get into how many of you guys are are really getting a lot out of these melody tutorials, because I've been seeing just like a litany, an entire proliferation of melody tutorials in FL Studio. I know I know I might not have a big FL Studio community in my, you know, in my chat. FL Studio, I mean, I think FL Studio is a little bit more difficult to create melodies in because they don't have a scale lock like Logic and in Studio One, where you don't have to worry about the scales. There's a little bit more thinking in it. But I mean, dude, I mean, I just that seems like the new kind of the new it's like the sports bar of the tutorial world, right? Like if you want like, you know what I mean? Like if like like if you
That's a
like
great way to say it.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like if you want to open a bar, but you don't have but you don't have no sauce or no swag or no interesting concept, you're just like, it's a sports bar, and you put a whole bunch of fucking TVs in there, and you serve watered down beer and fucking $5 pitchers, and then and all the and all the all the basic people from the neighborhood come and watch people run around with a ball. Um, have you? I mean, are you on YouTube? Have you even noticed like
Yes.
how many melody tutorials there are right now?
Hashtag leaving YouTube. You know what's funny? We got to talk about it too. Every time we do hashtag leaving YouTube, people get nervous. Because I had one dude comment on one of my videos the other day. It's like, man, I really miss when you used to be on YouTube. I'm like, bruh, I just uploaded. You didn't even watch it yet. You didn't even comment on that one yet. Nah, but but I had some people in the Twitch chat saying they do enjoy those tutorials. And Dream Guitar is just reminding us FL Studio Piano Roll does have ghost notes, so you can make light skin notes that fit into scale,
Yeah, but it doesn't lock them.
but it
Like
doesn't lock them. So
you could still click off, and
yes,
in other ones you could literally just be like, and it'll all be in scale, which is why I think that there's a lot more of them in
Studio
FL
One.
Studio
Yeah.
than everything else. But I mean, like, I don't know. I just don't see like what everybody is getting from them. Like, it makes me, and it's not it's not necessarily an indictment on the people who are creating the tutorials, more or less than it is like, I got questions for you guys. Like, I really have questions for you guys. You know what I mean? Like why do we need so many melody tutorials? Are we just are we just copying the melodies, or like what's going on there? Um
Well,
it,
according to certain podcast interviews, that's what it sounds like.
that's true. I mean, but it's like, it's trap melodies, bro. It's four notes per it's it's four notes per bar. You know what I mean? If you want to spice it up, you make it three notes per bar, or you make it five notes per bar, or if you want to get really spicy, you do three and then five, or two and then four. It's just
I,
it's really making me wonder, because it's a lot of the younger guys, and I wonder, like, if anybody, like, I wonder if we're getting to a point with YouTube, and just, because there was articles that came out when Google was huge, that was saying that, uh, or when Google first became huge, saying that, our our collective intelligence is growing because we have the internet, and we kind of have this hive memory, where we can go back to it and be like, oh, okay, this is uh no, nobody can be wrong anymore. You can just, you don't have to remember anything. So,
yes.
and then the question was, so are we getting smarter, or are we getting dumber? So when I see all these melody tutorials, and I think about all the tools that we have as musicians, and it should be enabling creativity, but yet we still need four weekly reminders of how to click in six notes across two bars in a way that is pleasing to the ear. I mean, and all we're doing is, I mean, when you really think about it, guys, you're just guessing notes in between a scale. There's only seven choices. It's not crazy, that so is it so is it like, are we forgetting these basic skills because there's such an abundance of the knowledge on YouTube? That
Well,
was
there's a lot.
happening.
I think a lot of people are not. It's a weird world we're in, bro. I think the factions of people who watch YouTube has split. You have people who, like, we've seen and we've called out, and we've talked about everyone that uses YouTube as an advantage to get the best plugins, techniques, secret FX chains, or even, you know, sample chopping ideas. I've done parody videos about that. And then they take that over to the mainstream. And what we end up having in the mainstream is a bunch of YouTube type beats mixed by Kai and Jason Joshua. And then on the internet side of things, you have the people who make all the type beats with all the tools and stuff that we teach, and now they're getting in a position to teach others how to make struggle melody tutorials. And I think that's what this all stems from, because I've been seeing a lot of that too. I've seen a lot of the people who pride themselves on having placements actually doing YouTube tutorials, and that's a backward step. What do you think?
Hold on, I'm responding to because he's an actual he's an actual creator, and he's saying that he actually has a week's worth of melody tutorials coming out.
I'm in your chat too. I'll read it.
But but yeah, like I'm curious, because I, like you take like you take like the BusyWorks model, right?
Yeah.
Where he just kind of does mass content. Like I understand that when you make as much content as game makes, people ask you, like people don't search, they just say, hey, can you show us how to make a trap melody? So it makes sense that he has 6 videos or however many he has on how to trap out chords. That makes sense. But it's but the thing I don't get is like, if you're, if you're not so much the creator side of you, again, but thank you for the thank you for the honest feedback in flight. It is not so much from creators, it's just from people who experience it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's, when it comes to melody, it is way more effective. Like once you understand that, you work within scale, once you understand, a motif and a resolution, it's much more effective to just go and do it. You know what I mean? Like those, like those 15 minutes that you're watching, those could have been those could have been like 5 or 6 good or shit melodies that you would have either, learned from, or learned, or learned to step away from. Um but I'm sorry, what was your original question you wanted me to respond to?
No, I'm good. Everyone's just MH said in particular, he experienced this when he used to teach martial arts, that some people would just copy and they never learn the how or why so that they can execute or make their own
Oh,
decisions in a fight, kind of thing.
oh. I mean, that definitely, that definitely that definitely could be part of it.
I think emulation is so important. I think people are feeding emulation. And I mean, we're all part and parcel of it. Even like with YouTube, I notice I get the most friction or traction if I teach something that's around emulation, like if I title it emulation. And then when I do the video, it's something totally different that has a bigger theme that unlocks a different door. Like in particular, it was funny. I did that Kid Cudi remake a week ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't just remake the guy's beat as it were like download the sample, add an 808 and a 2-bar drum loop, and say, "Hey, look at me! I made the easiest beat on Twitter that's trending right now." Woo woo. Nah, I went into the deep part of it. Like, yo, why are we sampling? You can make the sample. Here's my chain. Here's the notes. Here's the keys, and here's why I picked them. Then boom, this is what it looks like when you take that piece and then you put it into another program. And this is the arrangement and why, and this is the automation channels and why. Um, and I hope that when I do that, that people get more out of the why than the what.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
oh, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna just download it and I'm gonna put it on my Beatstars with the AI robots. So I hope that we could kind of like do that Moses part the Red Seas between the people who are kind of stuck and dependent on a new tutorial and the people who are actually doing and have learned and grown from what we've been doing. I think that's my primary concern,
Yeah, in
the
flight.
growth.
Yeah, in flight is in here saying he tends to cover more specifics. Videos thing he does, he emphasizes what hasn't been covered, just to kind of piggyback. That's that's kind of what I would like to see from, from more content creators. Speaking of them, like if we're going to, feed this insatiable demand for melody tutorials, I just hope that it's I hope it's done in a way that is, that is more creative and more beneficial. I don't really need 20 more Q beats type melodies tutorials, guys. I think everybody pretty much got those figured out, man. Um, I mean, I think we pretty much all understand if you want to start out making a melody, like picking three chords and vamping them is the way to go. Like like
Here's a little loop raider just to add the spice.
yeah, like if we could see like I don't know, like if we could see some level of master if we could see some level of mastery
Yeah.
coming through, you know what I mean, some nice explanation of chord of passing tones and and what we're actually doing and why we're making the decisions that we're making. That would be cool. I definitely would be welcome to seeing somebody going down that rabbit hole. um
Hey.
and now that now that everybody's here.
Hold on real quick. Moolah Baby says, you know what the truth is? It's really just cookups disguised as melody tutorials.
Facts. Clickbait. Speaking of clickbait, you guys are you guys are you guys ready for this, bro? So I didn't mean to shoot him, he just got me by surprise. That was our first that was our
No.
first bit of spice for the weekend. Gifford, Florida's own Melly, who is currently looking at the death penalty for the alleged murder of his friends who had the hit song Murder on My Mind. His producer um has taken that opportunity to cloud up on a fucking genius tutorial, which I thought the timing of that was really goddamn weird. You know what I'm saying?
Horrendous.
But who am I to judge, right? It was corny. Uh
Wah, wah.
so anyhow, why am I girl asking me if I want something? Probably some food.
We are one now. Of course, I want my low calorie, no ice Bojangles sweet tea. Of course, I do.
All right. So anyway, here's the thing, right? So the genius tutorial, Buddy goes on and he gives a very like very simple pedestrian breakdown of the beat, basically saying like, hey, I made this melody with the stock piano inside FL
The
Studio.
studio.
And
FL studio.
he says that he made it, right? Well, if you go in the comments of that video, it's amazing because you have a whole bunch of people calling him out, basically saying that melody did not come from his mind. It came from good old looperman.com. If you guys don't know about Looperman, Looperman is a free loop site that a lot of up and coming content creators upload upload some samples to. And you could go there, grab the loops. It used to be really cheesy when it first came out, but right now it's pretty lit. There's some good people dropping stuff up there. For example, there's this hit record that was made based
Piano loop. Yeah.
on this piano loop here. So the thing is, the Amika Moon says 30% of the melodies in urban music have been for Looperman. Yeah, they definitely have gems. So here's the deal. On the This is like there's no problem, right, with using a royalty-free loop from Looperman. Let me say this to the people who don't pay attention.
I know where this is going.
There is absolutely no problemo using the loop from Looperman. There's no problem in not chopping it. There's no problem in not putting any type of effects on it. You can take that loop, you can put drums underneath it, and you can make a hit song. That is fine with me. That is actually recommended by me. We're going to talk about that more in a little while. But what is a problem is when you find that loop and underneath it, it says this is royalty free, but hey, if you use it
Credit.
and it's for something cool, just credit me. Right? That's all I ask. I'm giving you guys my skill set to collaborate with, but please just give me some credit. Well, If you watch the Genius video, Buddy did no such thing. Buddy
Nah,
did,
he flexed and said is he trying to say that he was the Looperman uploader?
yeah, dude. He showed his piano roll and showed the notes. Like he was just like, oh yeah, this is how I did it. Which is like, bro, come on, man. MGtheFuture and CMP done taught everybody how to use Melodyne. Gotta
Yes.
relax, man. We gotta
And
relax.
it's made for piano and guitar, so
Yeah. We
whatever.
we have to relax, guys. So a couple things. The first thing is just
Why they
you
go on Genius and Producer Grind and all that stuff capping like they're doing stuff when they're not? That's the first thing.
yeah, that's the first thing, man. Just this culture that we have of lying. You know what I mean? And it all stems from the entitlement, right? So everybody who has a laptop thinks that they're entitled to a copy of FL Studio, and everybody who has FL Studio thinks that they're entitled to a copy of Nexus Grossbeat and Omnisphere, and everybody who has Nexus Grossbeat and Omnisphere thinks that they're entitled to placements with rappers, and everybody who has a placement thinks that they're entitled to respect. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
And none of this and none of that and none of that shit is true.
true.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be surprised if this jit fucking copied the drum pattern from from a live cook up or something like that. You know what I
Yes,
mean? And then through a relationship, you know what I mean, got the beat off to Melly, because if we're honest here, that beat is that beat is nothing without Melly. You know what I mean? It's his flow, and it's his story, and it is the way that incredible story is presented through melody
yes,
that makes that song special. You take him off the song and it's not special. And he's in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? But yet this piece of shit is going to go on Genius and try to make his next production move based off of a fucking loop that he stole off of Looperman, that he can't even be good enough to credit the original creator for, bro. And here's what pisses me off. If you go, because that shit don't even make me mad. Here's the shit that really gets me, right? Is when you go to the comments,
yep,
it's just a whole bunch of jit shooting them bail, bro. Like it's a lot of bail shooting.
yes.
It's like, well, hey, isn't it possible that somebody copied the melody, put it on Looperman? Hey, isn't it possible that that they put it on Looperman after? Like, no, first of all, the loop showed up. Like, there's a date. It says that it showed up in January of 2017, and I know when that song was made because I had beats to Melly, bro. I have somebody who was close to him, who was trying to get shit off, bro. Fucking 20 miles up the road. Um, the the whole deal is that, like, I know for a fact when that song was made.
It
Not
wasn't
before.
before
It
2017,
wasn't
right?
before 2017, bro. So um here's the deal. Hold up, they're saying I'm having dropouts, man.
Oh no, my
It's
hot take on the same point. I don't care how people make beats, bro. I just hate having to unpack the nonsense. Like people, because they'll watch it, they'll know it's a placement, they'll know it's a piano uh, placement or piano loop placement, and then the thing that happens to everyone learning is that they think they have to learn how to play piano like that. And then what's interesting is like which VST, which scaler, which captain can I do that thing? And then you got to realize like, nah, the person you're watching on Genius was capping, bro. Like that piano, someone else played who plays piano, and they uploaded it to Looperman. So you're gonna go on a 2 week dummy mission of diving through tutorials to figure out how to play that style piano, just for it to be a loop that exists in the zeitgeist. And then you'd be like, why don't you just find a different piano loop? Why are you trying to learn that kind of piano? It's because effectively CMP, what you're saying is, again, there's another case of someone capping when they're just using loops.
Yeah, and so here's the deal, right? So this is what we notice as content creators, and that's from having 14 weeks of spicy Sundays, and having you guys give us feedback by bringing the loops back and letting us hear what you guys are doing. And that's from having access to folders, which are the original loops from plenty of hit songs like Sicko Mode. We have the original loops from actually a couple Travis Scott songs. I just can't think of them now because they don't move me.
We
Goosebumps, you know what I'm
we,
saying?
we got the other folders, those other folders, the new ones
Which new ones?
of loops, of uninspiring loops, tons of them.
Oh, tons of them, bro. Yeah, tons of them. But here's the deal, right? So, okay, so the theme of this show is that Santa Claus isn't fucking real, right? So
Yes.
what you guys have to understand is that your competition, these goats that you're trying to jump over, the people who are getting all these placements and stuff, they're not making their tops, bro. They're not making their melodies. They're not doing it. They have the entire, the way the industry is working right now is they have subcontracted all of that work out.
Yes.
They've subcontracted it out to other creators, and y'all ain't paying attention because if you notice, there are like bro, you guys still think that Illmind is making beats with fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like y'all, like maybe not the people in this chat, but the people who are watching and who are communicating. Like y'all really think that they're like a part of the process beyond sending an email. You know what I mean? The way
Right.
the way that this shit is working is hashtag folders, bro. So you have they split the game up. There's people who do melody, and then there's people who do drums arrangement and have the actual connection to the artist. All right, so that's why there's so much messaging right now about collaborating. You want to collaborate. They don't tell you what collaborating actually is. They don't tell you that collaborating is making a whole bunch of melodies, sending them off to somebody, they make the beat, and then what was happening was, years ago they were getting the credit, right? So now what has went on to happening is everybody is putting in their folders like, hey, if you get a placement, we're gonna have to talk about this split. All right. The thing is, guys, is because so many folks still believe in Santa, is y'all are shooting yourselves in the foot with how you in turn are using loops, right? Bro, MG the Future and I have given you 140 slaps, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still hearing people try to chop it, flip it, reverse it, add a whole bunch of fucking crazy shit on top of it. And why? Why? What's the point, bro? Dude, we're giving you the alley oop to collab, bro. Like, all you have to do is put drums underneath that, and it's royalty free. You could go sell your lease. Like, you can get off on those, and we're doing them with themes. We're doing them with powerful processing, and we're running them through Zulu. You know what I mean? So it's like what are we really doing out here? Like why are we chopping them? And I know why we're chopping them is because I feel like people still don't believe that that's actually
Really what's happening.
what is happening, bro. But no, this is how everybody's working. Whenever you see, like if you go on any of these channels where they have these producer cookups, the reason why they don't show you the screen is because there's nothing to show, bro.
I'm not to show the screen type, because if I had to show the screen, I had to rename all my files as I arranged them, like Acid Pro in the Fruity Loops playlist.
Yeah. Let's see. So Digital King Beats says the chop gives you a different feel. You don't need a different feel. What you need is a hot beat, bro.
What you need is a pitch shift and looperator. Like,
Apostle Ross says the pride of feeling like you didn't do anything. What do
hold
you
on, I got
mean?
this.
What do you mean you didn't do anything? What you guys are missing? Let's go back. Let's go back. All right. So y'all just want to be beat makers. Then you don't want to be producers, right? You don't want to be producers. Y'all want to be
I
beat
tried,
makers.
guys. I didn't ask for it. Y'all did.
Y'all hold up. Y'all want to be some beat makers, right? Y'all don't want to do nothing. You just want you just want to make y'all just want to be a beat maker. Come on, man. Dog, this shit is an alley oop, right? This shit is an alley oop to say like, yo, for you guys, and this might not be for everybody, and I understand, but for anybody watching who wants to make the play to work with artists, right? Here's me and MG's the future intention for you guys, right? Okay, so if our most popular tutorials are and requests aren't how to make beats, right? If you guys are good at making beats, and what I mean is like literal beats, like drums, bass, arrangement, stuff like that. If our most sought after tutorials is melody hack, sound selection, mixing, sound selection, we have analyzed a problem in our community that says you guys need help with this, right? So,
Yes.
so we've also realized that a lot of our base is, you know, a little older, right? But you're still trying to do something. You know, you're still trying to get beats to artists. So you don't necessarily have the time. You guys are working people, so you don't have the time to master an instrument. You guys don't have the time to go through all the presets in Omnisphere like we have. You don't have the time to do X, Y, and Z. So again, this isn't for everybody. If this isn't for you, then just hold off. Let me get this. Yeah, don't even worry about it. So for you guys, right, that are wanting to make slaps, but you have this problem, give yourself permission to get the assist from MG and CMP. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that on top. You put on the drums, do the beat on the bottom, arrange it, flip it, take two of the samples into one, boom. Now all of a sudden you got sicko mode. Like I was trying to dance around this in the other one, bro. Like this is all these guys are doing in order to like the Travis Scott album. What was so amazing, the beat switched up so many times. It just took two loops and put them together in the same beat. That was
from
it.
the same damn folder, guys.
From the same sample creator, and everybody was like, "Whoa, this is the most amazing production ever." So if that's the vanguard, if that's the top of the mountain for production, and we're coming here and we're saying like, here, bro, we're gonna give you the opportunity to do this because you're a part of the tribe. We see what your problem is and we want to help you. Like, bro, don't fight it. Like, I want to see somebody do this shit. Right.
Yeah.
So like, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I work a regular job. I make my packs to sell, and then every week I make you guys heat every week, bro. So the play is that, you know, if you're a rapper that if you're a producer that wants to work with artists and you want to actually produce records more than just make beats for yourself to listen to and feel good about the amount of creativity that you put inside of it, what you do is you take these loops, you take the assists, you make the process as easy as possible, you make as much music as you possibly can, which will increase your chances of playing something to a rapper that they're going to want to pick. Now, because you didn't have to invest a bunch of time learning a whole bunch of stuff, buying a whole bunch of plugins, we're taking out all the excuses for you to produce, right? So when we could take out the time question, we could take out the price question, we could take out the skill question. Now all you have to do is your job as a producer. Go out, find that artist and work with them. And now it won't hurt you so much if you have to give a free beat away to make a relationship.
Wait a minute. That is the hook, line, and sinker. That's probably the most important point. The reason why we do it, and or at least the reason why I'm okay with doing it. Why royalty free is a thing. Why doing it every week is a thing. Why hearing and picking the trends because I have time for that. Cause like there's a lot of things I want to talk about in this subject, but I'm gonna try to keep it to the point. These kids who get placements and aren't getting paid. Let's focus on that. They're not getting paid if we get in spiritual sense and a karmic sense, is because they didn't invest in anything besides time in relationships, right? So they're sending beats that they collab with all these people from all these folders, and they pass it off to this artist for free, or it's on YouTube as a free download. Guys, we need to talk about that. Why things are called royalty free when they're called royalty free, or why things are on YouTube as free to begin with and not monetized, is because 9 times out of 10 the shit is stolen.
Yep.
And I don't mean just stolen like blatant rip from like someone else's pack or folder or core. No. I mean it's not coming from a place that the person created it from scratch. Like I need you guys to understand that in these beats, because I've compared a lot of type beats with Mixed and Key and these other tools that I have, and a lot of them are exactly the same. So either these producers are copying each other, or they're using the same loop packs and construction kits, which I think it's the latter. And if that is true and that is the case, these are still the same kids who are off getting all these placements that a lot of you guys are hitting us up chasing, and you're trying to do it from a position of authenticity or a position of like being this most crazy Basquiat level Pharrell Williams, this, that, and the third. But this is the thing that gets you fucked up. Even that is Santa Claus, bro. I told you all the Pharrell and Neptune's drums were drum breaks replayed on a Triton keyboard. They're the actual rhythms of drum breaks, the top 150 classic drum breaks, and replayed with some Chord Triton stock drum sounds, resampled in the ASR process, whatever. And then they eventually got Phil Tan and they went out the box because they started doing rock and punk music. But before that, it was a straight, simple formula, because hip hop and trap and all this, these are all subsets of DJs and turntables. Like it's born with 2 records, the top line and the drums, mixed together with an MC on a microphone, making people move. So if you think about that trifecta of energy, these kids aren't doing anything bad.
Nope.
It's just the market is different now. And we're impregnating that market by giving away so much free content, because that is where it is. That's we're not sitting here having a pity party about, oh man, I can't sell my $50 beat no more. $50 was never enough for anything anyway. But where's the opportunity at? Where's this going? What does this all mean? You're watching it every day on these interviews and damn podcasts. They're telling you, bro, I got a folder from someone who didn't even make this shit in the folder. And I'm taking this folder and I'm putting it in the easiest DAW there is to learn. And then I'm putting these secret effects chains on it that I'm stealing from this other guy who makes folders. And then somehow or another, I get lucky enough for one of my friends to play for his friend who's an upcoming rapper out of Florida. The end. All that other shit is magic and Santa Claus, bro. And that's what CMP is trying to say. Why are you guys protesting? You're asking these questions. We're giving you the fucking answer, the fucking empirical evidence and proof, and then everyone's doing something else. And I'm like, bro, I really want to. I wish I could be 20 again, knowing this. I wish I was 20, because then I have the time and patience to do it. I'd go the fuck off, bro. I'd be out of here, bro.
Done.
Because beyond just knowing where the loops are, my taste is different. I know who's the best of the best of the best, and I'd be working all weekend between part-time jobs. I'd be MG up out of here, bro. I'd have time instead of trying to figure out Pro Tools and how to mix and how to do all this parallel processing and mastering in the box when you got 10 copies of the same track and everything. All that bullshit I went down the rabbit hole for. All of that. It's not bullshit now, but in terms of time and valuing opportunity in your age, more importantly than time, your age. I just got lost in trying to be better than what the actual standard is. And I'm telling you guys, it's a dummy mission in this climate for this genre of music. That's all.
Yeah, Moses Malik was like, I'm not hating. I want to know how KBZ gets placements. His beats are super basic from what I've seen. I've watched a lot of his videos and I've never been blown away. Guys, rappers don't like complex beats, bro. Like, y'all don't believe me, but I'm a rapper. You know what I mean? That's how I started. I'm a lyrics oriented person. I will always tell you that the rapper is the most important part of a song. And when you're a rapper, you're constantly looking for a pocket to to put your voice, and the more clearly that you can hear the drums, and the easiest that the drums are to follow, that's how you hear yourself on the beat. So if you impregnate a beat with a whole bunch of changes, I mean, you should have changes, definitely have changes, but if you have a whole bunch of drastic changes and a whole bunch of orchestration and a whole bunch of sounds, you're not gonna hear yourself on the beat, because you just have a bunch of drums. Like if you make complex beats, you'll hear rappers, like, if I don't know if you work with rappers, but you hear rappers say, "No, it's a dope beat. I just don't hear myself on it."
Yes, I've heard that before too.
Yeah, when a rapper says they don't hear themselves on it, if you got the session up, mute some things.
You know what's fucking up, kids, when it comes to that?
What's
They
that?
don't release instrumentals no more on the B side.
So you can't, yeah, you can't really tell.
You can't hear the beat how it is. Like back in the day, like if you listen to, like, I remember growing up on the Black Rob Whoa instrumental,
Mm.
and it was just crazy, but it was very simple. Like you can count every sound in your head. You can count it. Like, oh, there's a bass that goes whoom, 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 and then the hi-hats with the little MPC or whatever swing, and then that top line, that dun, 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 one bar trap fucking loop, and
Dun
then at
dun
the end
dun
of the
dun
8
dun dun
bars
dun
is
dun dun.
dun 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 dun. There's nothing going on there from a beat maker's perspective.
Nope.
It's A B A B A B A B A. And we've been trying to say this, like, I've been trying to get this point across, but it was the masterful selection of the sample mixed with the drums and keeping it simple, and then whoever put the mix on it, it sounded really good back in the day. But in terms of like technicality, there's nothing technical going on, and I don't think people can hear it because all the auto tune and melodyne and layers and vocal harmonies and all the cool little tricks with R bass and shit. People might think their beats don't hit hard enough to match the final record because they're listening to two different products. They're trying to emulate a song and not a beat,
Yeah,
and that's very hard to explain to people.
and now, since there's such an emphasis with rappers on on actual melody, that you've got, it's even more important to leave space for them. Like whenever, like this from making R&B, like whenever you produce for a singer, you don't put lead lines and shit in there, bro. You just run the chords and do the drums, and
As
pray,
much as I want to,
yeah, and pray that they like the progression, and then when you get it back, you can fill the track out, because a singer can't write to that. You'll mess up their melodic compass and what they want to do.
you know who's figured it out? Who's a good person to study if you're trying to like really understand that on a masterful level?
Who's that?
Noah 40.
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
is the master of minimalism. Like really listen to like his production, not his mixing, his production. Listen to beats that Noah 40 made, and you'll just be like,
Yeah, it's like wow, this it's three chords on a pad.
yes,
Yeah.
and they're chords that share keys too. So
Yeah.
it's not like he needed like a chord potion or fucking
Nah.
crazy scale ripper. He took two keys
Yeah,
in
he
his
just went on
scale
his.
and found all the keys that share that. So it's like, yeah, that's it. And then his drums are synthesized and really bland, but his process, his outboard to make it snap and everything, you're like, the fuck am I doing? And that's why it's cool when the last 4 bars of the song, it changes to a different sound with a little lead
Yeah,
playing.
yeah,
Like all that complexity you're perceiving is a 4 bar part of a fucking 4 minute
yeah.
song.
Yeah, because he was like
And
he was.
that's crazy. It's magic.
Yeah,
It's
he
really
said
magical.
I'm gonna get my part off, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to before we move on to some scarier topics, if you guys want to, if for you guys that are in the tribe, and you want to, and you want to work with artists, and you need an assist, just seriously, take the spicy Sunday loops. There's 140 of them now, bro. 14 weeks, 10 loops a pack. Take those, put drums underneath them, make yourself some simple arrangements, and take your time, right? take your time from watching us, watching all these tutorials and watching a million melody tutorials and trying to figure out all this nuance. Just loop it, put the drums underneath it, and then go network with artists. That is going to take you further in a production career than mastering the art of melody. And and if you need any proof of this, look at the top producers. All right, everybody looks up the South Side. He's in QB's bag. Everybody's looking up to, DJ Dahi. Same thing. Every song that has 4 producers on it, it has 2 guys loops on it. So let's relax.
Should we talk about that? You mentioned someone's name, and
Nah,
recently,
do you want to? Do you want to?
I don't. I just want to say this. I find it interesting, at the least, because I forgot who brought this to my attention, because I didn't know. I didn't listen to the project. But there's a project out, and it starts with a lo-fi piano.
The Schoolboy
because this is part of our trope about lo-fi is coming. And I heard it, and I heard this lo-fi piano. What's interesting about this lo-fi piano was that it's I think it's an interpolation of something that I've shown people. And I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Like Schoolboy Q and Black are about to be on a lo-fi beat. And it was actually a lo-fi piano on a Black type beat, blackout kit. I don't know, Words Connect, Worlds Connect.
DJ Dahi, say something in the comments, brother.
And in the beginning of it, there's a tag, because it had nothing to do with the message of the song or the artist involved. And it said the future. It said the future twice. And I don't know how to take that. I don't know if it was like a head nod, like, yo, like, nah, drop that shit in there twice, Ali. Or if it was like a flex, a weird flex.
It's a little bit of both, bro, because it just goes back to, if the young guys who are from the YouTube generation and learning how to learning how to produce online have a problem saying any of our names, because it's not just you.
I know.
It's not just me. None of them have ever said any of our names.
Yeah. And we're given ample opportunity and space to do so.
And they've asked, bro, like I'm not even gonna make it a personal thing, bro. Like, not one young producer has ever said a YouTuber's name, bro. Ever. And so if they won't do it, and they're from internet culture, you know what I'm saying? The older guys, they ain't gonna fucking say it either, bro. They're weirdo.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the mystique. That's what's happening. That's why these young kids are capping on loop folders that they get from Looper Man. It's that someone's having a conversation with them. I don't know if that's manager level or A&R level, but it's definitely old school 1950s and 60s Mad Men type propaganda.
Yeah.
That, sadly, I'll say it this way, and I don't want to get too heady on this topic, but it's definitely, it has infected, if not been parasitic, to the Black community in particular. And of course, hip hop is Black music. So when you see, like, when we execute power like that, especially from positions of authority, it's like the illusion is so much weirder for us. And when we always like prop ourselves on freeing people, we're not actually freeing people. We're putting them on dummy missions. So when we talk about it as content creators with YouTube, like, yo, you're on this tutorial, on this platform, and you can give light to any of us, especially the ones that look like you don't say nothing. Yo, when I hear it in the record, because I'm Mr. Words Connect, Worlds Connect, Songs Connect, and I got every AI tool known to man, and I'm going to figure it out if I care. And I'm going to realize what happened, or someone in my tribe is going to realize what happened and bring it to me. And you wonder why we say the things we did, why we're so candid, why we're being spicy, why we're coming forward and exposing this to thousands, if not millions more people, is because we're trying to get the culture of that fuck shit to change. Like, because no one's going to take your spot, bro. Like, no one's going to hack your email, and the person that they email the beat to doesn't necessarily open it and it mean anything. And I think that is the trick. The trick is to get people so lost and caught up in the creative space and creation process that they become delinquent and subservient to the actual social space where 48 Laws of Power actually kicks off. 48 Laws of Power doesn't kick off in Free Loops, bro. It doesn't kick off in the YouTube comments. It doesn't kick off in the damn DMs and emails and the collabos. It kicks off once you prove yourself to be competent and then dealing with people who are in this to make money. And when it becomes music business, when it's business leaning, the music business, the music part of music business is all deflection and referrals. And it's like, whatever. We don't care how you made it. Just have it done by this deadline. We're taking off. This project is dropping in 2 weeks. Either you're in or you're out, or we're going to get someone else who has a Looper Man Connect and he's going to do it. It's really cutthroat like that. And they pretend, and when they talk to you, they talk with this false air of confidence, and they almost look like they don't know what they're talking about because they really are just happy to be here. And I respect that part of it. But, woo, boy, I'm saying it as a position of authority. These kids aren't that nice. There's too many people on one track. And if you're making beats and loops to get to that level of music business, when you're going to have 10 collaborators waiting for you, don't spend the rest of your life on a dummy mission trying to be as good as them. You're already good enough. Just run.
Facts, bro. Jayon said it's a reach that older producers won't give recognition. I guess he thinks you're reaching with the future comment. You'd have to Jayon, I think you have to like go back and see like and peep MG's Black Pack. But he don't need a deep dive. We don't have to deep dive that today.
Well, we're talking about Timbaland's masterclass when he deferred everybody to YouTube. Which YouTube channels did he mention?
Which YouTube channel did he mention when he has an Ableton Live template that looks a lot like my Ableton the Easy Way playlist? Looks a lot like my Ableton the Easy Way playlist. Jayon says, I think the young people are just manipulated and the older ones might try the fuckery, but I just don't see it. Nah, that's cool, Jayon. I see what you're saying. But I mean, I think the example that MG gave is pretty much on target. Just yo, listen to the whole Schoolboy Q project. It's a good hip hop project. You should just listen to the whole thing because it's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at it either. Just to be clear, I'm not hating. I'm not spicy. I just think it would be so much cooler if, it's like, yo, shout out to MGtheFuture. I definitely learned something from his channel.
No, big 1400, bro. You're tripping. Like, Timbaland said that he goes to YouTube to learn. We know that Timbaland does not need us. We understand that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that everybody watches YouTube. Everybody.
Who would they be watching, guys? Like, you guys act like YouTube has a billion videos of us.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Like big 1400, why are you even here? Because we suck? No. You're here because we're good.
You see the people I talk to on the legendary chats? Like, are you guys smoking mids? Like, is everyone missing the nuance?
Everybody's not missing the nuance. Big 1400 is missing the nuance. But that's the thing, bro. When you believe when you've never met a Timbaland, right? You think that they're Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like you think that they're this crazy, spiritually gifted person, when in the actuality they're a creative person that worked hard and was able to get into a circle with Teddy Riley. You know what I mean? And be put into the right situations.
Like I said, everything in the music business part is a relationship thing. It's who gets the character.
Okay. Big 1400 is just saying, don't expect a shout out because no one likes to credit the next man for their success. Yeah, that's.
Oh, and that's contrary to what Jayon was saying. Those are the two different sides of it.
Yeah, I agree, 1400, but just don't think that they're not watching us, bro. Because who else are they gonna watch, bro?
It's not many of us.
There's like what, 12 good ones
tops.
There's 12 good ones, and they've probably seen all of them. But off of that, man, this week was pretty cool, bro. Because Arturia 7 came out. I didn't my and Arturia 7 is really coming for Omnisphere's neck, boy. Like they added a feature to okay, so the way out for you guys that don't have the Arturia V collection, right? What the Arturia V collection is that it is a collection of older synthesizers and Rompler. It's old synthesizers and one sampler and then one tape instrument, right? But it's these old classic instruments from classic songs, and what they do is they model them in a really amazing way. I think they're like you've had the Roland stuff. What do you like better? You like the Roland stuff or you like Arturia?
No comment.
I understand. All right. So, me personally, I like the Arturia stuff way better, right? So, and just remember, guys, silence speaks volumes. So, but
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I got you.
People out here in these YouTube streets just handing out Hail Marys and shit something right. I'm good, bro. Let me live.
I got you, bro. So,
I can talk about people who never watch me because they never watch me, so they'll never hear me.
facts. But the Arturia joint, it's dope, right? So if you're trying to make like I don't know like Kingsway packs, right? You could use the Arturia stuff and say that you're using all these vintage synthesizers, but actually use the Arturia stuff and get off. They're that good. Stay woke. So the thing about it is they came out with their new update, right? So I got the V6 a while ago at a discounted price. Now if you have V6, you can cross grade for 199. And I was trying to stay away from it, man. You know, I didn't want to spend more money on a plugin. You know, this year I didn't want to buy anything that was not hardware. And they had something interesting. They added a Mellotron to it, and within the Mellotron, they added the ability for one to add their own samples.
Rocking the tables. We're rocking the tables here. Need you to relax, sir. Yo, there's going to be a melody tutorial for that in a couple of days with the goddamn, the fucking radiator from Sound Toys on the master bus.
Whatever, bro. They can't freak it like I freak it, bro. They don't even know what I'm doing with it. Anyway, that was a cool feature. But what was really cool about it is that they're coming for Omnisphere's neck, bro.
Yes.
And that's in the sense that they have all these instruments, and then they have a container for the instruments called Analog Lab, and then Analog Lab will have all of the presets. Like you can't make sounds inside Analog Lab, but I think come version 5, they're gonna figure out that like, bro, we could take Omnisphere's life if we just like let them make sounds inside of this. So what it is it's a container for all the presets. It has an amazing browser, and now what it has is similar to Omnisphere's. It has sound match to where you can start on one preset, make your melody, your chords or whatever, and then use their AI to match it to another sound that would sound good playing another line, which is awesome. This is one of the things that people tell me that they struggle with is sound selection. How do I know what sound to pick next? So that was really amazing for them to add that into the fray, and between them putting the Mellotron and then them putting the sound match in, I had to go ahead and spend that money, as did MGtheFuture. Now you were messing
whoa.
you were messing around with it on the old Twitch. How were you experiencing it?
I've only had the Key Lab. What is that little their kind mini they made a few years ago? Their first one, Mini Lab or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other cool thing about this is the Analog Lab, or what you're talking about, the Key Lab, is not only does it contain the presets and have the sound match, but it maps to their MIDI controller. So all the different parameters that they do let you adjust the macros, you can do it tactile with the actual MIDI controller, which is really cool.
Which is like they have that big Arturia MIDI controller with the little knob in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
Spicy.
Might have a home for my Cork Triton tactile. Hit me up if you need it. But I had that first. That was my first mini controller. So I forgot what it was called. It doesn't look like the one we have now. It wasn't Analog Lab 4. It was something else they had, like a bootleg version with like 5,000 presets, and they're all Prophet VS bells. But anyway, I had that, and that got me into Arturia. And a lot of those beats I made back then were kind of like Timbaland, Danger Hands type of club tracks, and I loved it back then. I just didn't have the money to spend $500 again to buy the rest of them back then. So when V7 came out, I kind of just like for the past couple years on YouTube, especially, I haven't really used Arturia. And then for whatever reason with V7, I was reading. Oh, my stupid ass! It said AI.
Yep.
And I said, oh, it says AI, so I bought it. So I logged into my Arturia account because I registered my keyboard. They had a cross grade price for me. So I paid that cross grade price. And I was like, yo, if they're going AI, I need to be here now. This is when I enter this room. So that's why I got it, because I know a lot of you are going to ask, like, is it worth? And I was like, for me, you got to remember, I'm pro technology. I'm pro making our lives easier. I'm pro like figuring out who's going to figure out this singularity first. And that's why I jumped on that bandwagon. I do like the sounds. One of the loops in Spicy Sundays 14, which came out today on our respective websites, you'll hear it. It's called a Cube Beast. That's how Arturia sounds. And yeah. Yo, Arturia V7 got me in my fucking bag, bro.
Speaking of,
like, I've never had so many people comment on that video when I used it. I had the most comments because I was using Arturia.
Yo, because that shit is gas, bro. But y'all don't want it anyway.
Yeah, I want to get it. If you have Centronic and Omnisphere and Repro and all that,
it's not worth it.
Arturia. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just a sound matcher. Like,
yeah.
Come on, you guys aren't big sounds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've got those keyboards inside Omnisphere anyway, and you could do and you
could Looperman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got Looperman. Yeah, don't even don't. Even, hey, what's up, Slim? Mr. Difference in the house. Blank Space says, CMP, do you know a budget interface? My audio box volumes aren't working and PreSonus won't help. I don't know, bro. Pretty much, I'll challenge I'll tag Mr. Different in, and I will tag MG in on this one. This is my opinion on budget interfaces. Everything below, everything from $200 to $500 all sound the same.
Yeah.
They all sound exactly the same. There is no significant difference between a $200 interface and a $500 interface. Things only start sounding different once you get around $650. Once you get up around $650, you get into your Apogee duets, you get into your Apollo duos, you get into your PreSonus 192 series and stuff like that. That's when you'll get different. So whatever you have, so whatever you could find for $200 that you like the features of, you're fine.
That is a channel strip or preamp, and you'll be lit. Relax.
Yeah. But speaking about AI, right? We had an interesting development from somebody
Seed of Life.
From Seed of Life,
aka Ronnie. Yeah.
Seed of Life also has an amazing book on music theory that you guys should check out. What's the name of the book?
The Master Key System, if I'm not mistaken.
Master Code System. Go to Amazon.com. Support our brother. It's an amazing book on music theory. It breaks down the circle of fifths in a way that if you've never understood the circle of fifths, this might be the key to unlock that. So basically, I typed something in the chat. It's called createbeats.com. If you go to K, the number 3, the number 8, TBEATS.com, MGCreateBeats.com. If you go there, you're gonna roll up on a Beatstars page. And when you roll up on that Beatstars page and you listen to those beats, what I want you guys to understand is that Beatstars page, all of those beats were created completely by an AI program. So, See the Life was showing us some videos that were happening at NAM, and now I wish that I went to NAM because I would have liked to sat in on these conferences. Like,
Yeah.
like fuck walking the floor and trying to take pictures of everybody. Like that's it.
Was you didn't want to talk to people so they can get you the plug for
No,
the preset crew?
no, I really don't care, bro.
Oh,
Uh,
bring your resume.
what was crazy, and I forgot who told me this. It might have been you who told me this, but somebody was saying when they were out there, the convention that was lit was the one before it. It was the tech convention, right?
Yes.
And how that was crossing over into music. So here's what they've got. There is, if you go on YouTube and you look this company up, it's not 100% directly straightforward what they're doing, because they are very dubiously keeping that away from the public. But what's happening is they have this company that runs the Create Beats software. They have 7 AI patents that are strictly based for music comparison, music analyzation, and composition. 7 patents, right? So that means 7 patents, 7 different systems that can be, translated into different softwares. And what they're touting this Create Beats as is it is a system to where they can, bro, just Google it. It's up there somewhere. Um, it's What they do is they feed this computer all of the top songs, right? And then based off of that information, it creates beats and then puts it up on this Beatstars page, right? So and the Beatstars page, they're selling they're se- there it is. Bang has got it. Creator, I'm sorry, not Create Beats, Creator.
Oh, the creator part.
Yeah. So what this thing does is it's creating beats on its own, based off of information that it's getting from actual songs. So when you go to the BeatStars page, you listen to the beats, you're like, oh, these beats are trash. They don't have no sauce. But what they obviously this program doesn't have Omnisphere and doesn't know how to pick presets yet. But what I want you guys to listen to is like listen to the drums, listen to the arrangements, listen to the actual compositions. Like it's got that part down.
Do me a favor, spell creator.
KR38R.
Oh, no wonder. They're doing leak talk. I ain't got time for that. That's not the links there, guys. This is the link.
So here's the deal: is whenever you see the videos like them talking at NAM or these different conventions or something, they never say who they're charging this to, and this is something that MG was talking to Miss Savage about was these AI programs, and your fear, not necessarily fear, your concern was that these programs would replace the human in the sync market, because the guys that make syncs they usually make whack beats anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's usually guitar players using cheesy construction kits to put together a subpar rap beat.
Yeah.
It's never saucy, but that's what these beats sound like. And that's what MG was telling me he suspected was going to happen with this program. So why don't you take it a little further? How do you see this developing from here on?
Because, well, I don't think, I honestly, with you, the G with you guys, when it comes to America, how do I say it? I don't think we're waiting for it. I think it already exists.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this first meme show up with Mike Karen in Atlantic Records, right? So back in the day, we saw like Kane Beats, DJ Mustard, all these guys, even TM88 and stuff, right? Like over the years, Mike Will made it kind of leaked that like Mike Karen is pretty crazy with how focused he is about gathering the best of the best talent and people, putting them in the studios, putting them in the rooms to chime out, hits, whatever that means. And that he has a book, a workflow book, references, songs, CDs, notes of what goes into making a hit song. And then Young Berg, who's a friend of the Joe Budden show, aka Hitmaker, he gets signed over there to Atlantic as like a senior producer, A&R, VP, whatever, right? And he puts his tag at the beginning of all the songs, but I don't know if you guys know or not. That's Mike Karen's thing, right? But listen to what Youngberg is doing on every release, right? He's replaying Mary Jane Girls. He's replaying All Night Long or Groove Theory. He's replaying all the hits from the 90s and getting this artist you've never heard of prior to do this little simple top line singing a little melodic hook. And every time it's on radio. It's on radio. He hasn't missed yet. Not necessarily saying these are the best songs that we gravitate towards, but in my perception of what they're doing, that's very AI based because they're both working with formulas. Youngberg from the writing and words perspective, and Mike Karen with the bones, the template, the DNA of the track. And to say that you can't get a computer to do that for you is bullshit. Because when we're playing fucking Tetris, they're saying we can never have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, right? Like, and we never have VR, right? And we'll never have these things where we interact with people in real time on the phone and can see their faces, right? So why is that if Atlantic has figured out the formula, why is it preposterous that they can't feed it and train an AI their formula and kick out hits that we listen to? Because it's super specific code. Now, if you go over there to China and Japan where this K-pop and J-pop is coming out of, if you listen to it, as CMP suspects, that is the play.
They're
That
already
all
using it.
those
They're already using it.
all those superstar groups, all those super hit songs, those are all artificially generated, bro. And whatever our consciousness is and culture is in America, we're just slow. We're not as smart as we think we are. America's the best at marketing, but we're low key idiots. And like I said, I don't want to keep talking about it. It's gonna make me mad because music wouldn't be the first thing to use AI on. Stay woke.
And with that, I'd like to tell you all to keep it simple, but do not be basic. And we will see you on the next one.
All right, guys. Zimji, you know what I'm about. Peace.